Hey guys, welcome back to Be with Bree. This is going to be the collective reading for the month of April. I do apologize that I've been a little quiet on here with everything that's going on in the world. It has just kind of switched up my entire routine. It's been a lot of adjustments. Yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't been on here, but just been kind of flowing with this thing and adjusting to that as much as possible. But I am back. We're going to do this reading. I also have a couple other readings planned for this month, so look out for those. Just bear with me a little bit as I sort of adjust to this new schedule and the ebbs and flows of what it brings. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop to it. I did this month a little differently than I did March. Okay, so like in March, I did 3 parts. This month, I did an overall energy for the month, and then I did just a couple cards, 3 cards each for every week of the month. Okay, so we're gonna just hop right into it. So, for the overall energy of the month, we have the Queen of Swords. So I feel like this is us like really using the experiences that we've gone through lately, the knowledge that we've gained to really get clear on what we want, what we're going to do, what's happening around us. Just this is like the card of like clarity and like no BS. Like I'm going to see this for what it is and I'm going to act accordingly. It definitely brings with it that energy of like integration of suffering and like just other experiences as well, just like lessons learned through experiences. So we start to integrate those things, and then we say like, okay, like I know a little bit better now. I'm getting really clear on what's going on. Okay. So that's the overall energy for the month. So I think we're going to be finding a lot of clarity throughout the month of April. And if we're not finding it, we're going to be like searching for it, and we're going to be getting to it, because this queen is like, she still embodies like that feminine energy. She's very understanding, but she is still like, I get it, but I see it for what it is. And so like she has just that sort of like bluntness, like that harshness to her as well, that's just like, let's stick with reality, because like I have my smarts and I've got my wits, and so like I'm gonna act accordingly to what I'm being told from this part of my body, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I think we're just gonna get a lot of clarity, or we're gonna be like really hardcore seeking clarity. Okay. So then for the first week of April, we've got the King of Pentacles, we have the Star, and then we have the Chariot. Okay. So with these 3 cards, I feel like they're all kind of different energies, but like the King of Pentacles, he is a man that has sort of, again, just like the Queen of Swords, he has everything he needs. He uses his experiences and the things that he's gained in his life to sort of create this stability, this like, I am where I am and I have everything I need within me, around me, all of the things, okay? But he is also like very charitable and very giving. And so I feel like this card is inviting us to do some wise planning for the future, especially around finances, because, we do have the pentacles here. They represent like typically money, wealth, anything tangible, right? But definitely do some long-term planning. And also like don't be afraid to share what you have gained through our recent experiences, our recent times, or anything that you just have to share with the world. And be it like emotional, um, tangible stuff, physical, like go help someone, who needs some physical labor. I don't know. Just don't be afraid to be charitable with whatever you have to give, okay? Obviously, right now, we're not allowed to leave our house. So, or a lot of areas are not allowed to leave their house. So if you can't do that, then just whatever you are able to share and give to those around you, I invite you to do so. And then also like, just again back to the planning, like just This is going to be a huge transition. Just through like the cards of the month as we get through this, I just want you to like pay attention to like all the transitions. So just really plan as much as you can like for the future. Do some long-term planning in your life in whatever areas that you feel that needs it, okay? And then we've got the star this week as well. And so this is like a really hopeful it also speaks to like the collective awareness. So I think that there is going to be like a shift towards hope and a little bit further away from fear. If you don't feel that, then I invite you to try to do something to shift that mindset. If you are in that space of fear and worry, try to shift it into hope, because this is a very hopeful card. This is also like about like mental healing, sort of like we've weathered a storm lately, and this is kind of like the restorative, like that rejuvenated restoration after the storm, right? Like you've weathered it and then it's like, okay, let's take some time to heal. And this is just very hopeful. So I think that with the King of Pentacles, just do some planning and take the time that you need to heal from whatever it is. That could be financial stuff, like whatever it is that's happened in your life. Take the time that you need to heal from it, and allow yourself to feel hopeful about what's coming. Because again, as we get through this, like I feel like that's absolutely necessary and valid, because I think we're in a huge transitional period, right? Where we're sort of like almost getting comfortable with what's going on. And so I think that the fear is going to kind of like die down a little bit, and we're going to start to shift more into hopeful thinking. And again, if this is not applying to your life, or if you're not in an area where like you're going through all of the like stay at home, what is the word I'm looking for? It's just like gone. The quarantine or anything like that, or whatever. This can definitely be applied to any aspect of your life. I totally forgot to say that at the beginning, but like take it as it resonates, okay? So like it doesn't necessarily have to be applied to one specific area of your life. This could be in your relationship. This could be with your career. This could be like whatever. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, so back to this. So then also for this week, we've got the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is like boss bitch energy. Like this is like, I mean, just look at her. Like she's like, I've got my leather jacket, got my two like Egyptian cat, I don't even know what those are called. I'm on my motorcycle. I've got my like magic wand here. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to battle whatever I need to do. I'm ready for it because I'm freaking tough. Like she's just like, I am so ready for this. So I think that this is like really speaking to like that change I was talking about, like a little bit of like an evolution and like movement forward, okay? But I think it will require a little bit of toughness to it, a little bit of like fight. Like I don't think we're anywhere near getting through like the difficult parts, but this is just saying like put on your leather jacket and get ready to fight for whatever it is in your life you need to fight for, because we are totally prepared for this. That's what the message of this card is, totally like you are prepared for this, you can handle this. So yeah. So I think that first week is just really kind of like bringing balance in that transitional period, okay? Bringing balance to what we've gone through, what we've learned, what we've gained, what we've lost, and then bringing that to a sort of communal base and being like, okay, what can I share with others? What can I do for others? What can I also like, receive from the universe, from my community, whatever. And then also just being like super hopeful, really allowing yourself to heal and realize that everything serves a purpose, and find somewhere in you to feel that hope for the future. Because after when we've got the Chariot, it's all about like, we're moving forward, and you better be ready for this, okay? So then the second week is a little bit of conflicting energy. So we've got the Two of Pentacles, and then we've got the Fool, and then we have the Devil. Don't be scared of this card, okay? It has beautiful medicine to it. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles. With this card, this is saying that like we are really balancing the challenges of life like with grace, with ease. Like look at her, she's like so gracefully balancing those two pentacles with the infinity symbol, like just like, I got this, I can do this. And so if we feel like we're not, I think that this is sort of an invitation to say, okay, let's find some balance here with what we're doing in life, okay? With all of the challenges, all of the different things that are being brought about, that are coming in and out of our lives, just try to find some balance and stability, okay? Stay flexible and adaptable as well, because that's what helps her balance these pentacles here, is flexibility and adaptability, okay? So like just try to keep yourself open. Because then we've got the Fool, and this is all about just like new beginnings, new journeys, new perspectives, new way of life. Like she is just like, I am ready to go wherever the universe takes me, and I am not afraid. Like there is no fear in this card. Like she's about to jump off that cliff and she doesn't even care. She's like, whatever, like something's gonna be down there to catch me. Just total leap of faith, okay? Just really believing that wherever you go, whatever happens, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be cool. And actually like not even just trusting that, but just also like really inviting it, like bring it on, like let's see what new comes in, okay? That is really the energy of this card. I feel like we're just really being asked to trust, okay? Trust in divine timing, trust in the process, trust in the journey. And that's absolutely way easier said than done, right? Especially when we've got situations like we've got now in the world, okay? Absolutely easier said than done. And I think that's where this Devil card comes into, because this is really all about like keeping ourselves stuck in like that negative, almost like self-sabotage. Like the Devil card is definitely about self-sabotage and like bondage. Like what is keeping you bound to where you are, to what you're doing? If you feel like you need to change something, what is keeping you stuck from, or keeping you from changing that, keeping you stuck in that? Also, like, take a look at what ways you might be self-sabotaging. Take a look at what ways you might be telling yourself negative things and believing them when they aren't actually true, okay? The medicine of this card is really like, take a look inside and find out where you are harming yourself. Like what negative thoughts are you saying? Like really take a look at that and realize that like sometimes we can be our own worst enemies, right? We can be the people that keep us stuck somewhere because we harbor these negative thoughts or whatever that kind of just keep us stuck there. This is also a card of like obsession, and so sometimes I just want to throw this out there, that sometimes we can become really obsessed with things, like getting caught up in things like fear or like worry or the hype of things. And so like also the medicine here is to like, don't get too obsessed over something, okay? Just kind of chill, okay? Again, I know that's easier said than done, but if we can really go inward and look inside and realize that like we have the power to choose fear and worry or love and acceptance and ease and like grace and all of those things, right? So I think with this week, the overall energy is just like find balance in what's happened, what we don't know, what's going to happen, like all of those things, all the challenges that we're facing. Try to find balance in that and be open and excited for what's to come. Again, I feel like a broken record. I know it's easier said than done, but just go with me here, okay? So like just allow yourself to be open to invite new things, new changes, new perspectives. I feel like a lot of things are about to change. And if the more inviting we are to that energy, the more that we are willing to accept that, I feel like the easier it's just gonna be. And we won't keep ourselves stuck here and bound, okay? All right, so I hope I'm not moving too fast. I just don't want to have like a 45-minute video. Okay, so the third week of April, we've got the Two of Cups. We have the Emperor. And we have the Ace of Swords. So the Two of Cups is really about like heart connections, okay? Like emotional balance, heart connection, allowing ourselves to feel loved and to give love. So like this, I don't want to read this as if it's like a romance reading or a relationship reading, but it most definitely can be in relation to your relationships. But this is just like allowing your heart to be open to find connection, to embody, I don't know, to just be balanced emotionally. Okay, this is emotional balance, and also like allow ourselves to be bursting full of love. Like just allow that energy of love and be able to give and receive. Okay, also the Two of Cups for me is a lot has a lot of energy of like reflection. Okay, so like I am a firm believer that we are all reflections, okay? Everyone that I come into contact with is a reflection of something within myself, whether that's something that I might like or I might not like, right? It is still a reflection of something that's within me. So I think this is also just saying, like, realize that, and that will allow us to open our heart and accept people because we see ourselves in them, right? So, and then we have the Emperor following that card. Now, the Emperor is a lot different than the Two of Cups. He's a little bit like stoic, but he is very stable and secure, logical. He looks for logic and reason in everything, okay? She in this deck. But the Emperor is just very much like, I want to get the logical answer for things. I want to, like, know the reasons behind things. The Emperor also is not afraid to like take up space. So I think that's the real invitation here, is to take up space this month. Allow yourself to feel your own personal power and take up the space that is yours rightfully, right? So also like expansion. The Emperor's really about just fully expanding and allowing yourself to reach this sort of energy, this sort of like, I mean, that's like powerful energy, like sitting in your power. Allow yourself to expand and take up the space that you deserve, okay? But again, with logic and with reason. So understanding what your power is, understanding where you want to take up space. Does that make sense? But balancing these two energies, like make sure you allow your heart to be open and connected to others while also saying, I'm here to take up my space. This is also a card about boundaries. So make sure we're setting, when we are doing this, when we are going out and like connecting with people and we are opening our hearts up, still maintain these boundaries, okay? I hope I'm making sense right now. I feel like I went back and forth with that. But anyway, definitely just make sure we're standing our ground, standing in our power, setting our boundaries, while also remaining very much open to giving and receiving love and emotion, and that we are emotionally balanced, okay? Because then we've got the Ace of Swords. And this wants to give us, the Ace of Swords wants to deliver to us a new perspective, a new way of thinking. Sorry about that. A new perspective, a new way of thinking. It wants to offer us that clarity that the Queen of Swords, we were talking about with that. The Ace of Swords wants to deliver this to us, okay? It is wanting us to look for signs, look for things that allow you to see things clearly, okay? We might even get like a rush of clarity at some point during this third week, or something might be like, oh, I got it, like a light switch will flip on. But this is definitely like the universe saying, here, like you see the hand coming out of the clouds, right? Like, here, I want to give you this clarity and I want you to move forward with this, okay? I feel like it's also sort of a little bit of an omen that, like, because aces are like new beginnings, so it might be the beginning of a possibly difficult path, but bring this energy with you, emotionally connected, emotionally balanced, open to giving and receiving love, but also very logical, very stable, secure, and taking up space and like finding your power, standing in your power. That's what I meant to say. All right. So then the last week, I feel like the last week of April is really all about like planning. And it's so funny because we began the month of April with this, which is like long-term planning. And I think we've moved through a lot of different energies throughout the month, or we're going to be moving through a lot of energies throughout the month. And then the last week, we're going to be taking the planning that we did at the beginning of the month and using the experience and setting it as a foundation, okay? Because we've got the Hanged Man, and then we've got the Two of Wands, and then we have the King of Wands. I also find it interesting that we began with the King, we end with the King, and we, like, the overall energy is with the Queen of Swords. I just find that interesting. I think it's very powerful. It speaks a lot to the leadership that's going to be required this month of everyone, of the collective, okay? And yeah, so also too, just like tarot talk, this reading is full of major arcana cards, which means it is very like powerful. It's also meaning like a lot of these messages are to be applied in like the overall like picture, like the bigger picture, right? So anyway, just wanted to throw that in there. So the last week of April, we've got the Hanged Man here. This is really about like our awareness again, being super aware in what's going on, our self-awareness, and kind of just like hanging out. Just surrender to everything that you go through this month. Like once you get to the end of the month, this is the invitation to surrender to everything and just kind of like get comfy and hang out there and allow that to set in. Make sure that you are taking time for self-care in this space, okay? And yeah, again, just like allow yourself, following that Ace of Swords, allow yourself to gain new perspectives, gain new ways of seeing things. Examine your spiritual experience, your spiritual connection. Take time to sit with that as well while you're kind of hanging out here, and integrate that. I don't know where that's coming from, but just that's what it's just what I'm getting. Take some time to take a look at your spiritual practices, okay? But this card is just all about like kind of hang out, get comfy. We're going to be here for a little while, and use this time to surrender and gain a new perspective, okay? Or just a new like look at things differently. Like she is upside down, right? So like seeing things from a totally different angle, and she's just chilling there. So then we've got the Two of Wands. I apologize, I got quiet. I have a 2-year-old who's napping right now, so I was like, mom ears perked up. Anyways, so we've got the Two of Wands following that Hangman energy. And this is really about like, you have the world at your hands, but you're taking the time, again, this week is all about like kind of taking the time to continue planning, taking the time to examine everything that you could possibly want. Use the insight that you have gained throughout this month, okay, and use it to make very bold, daring decisions, okay? She's standing out on this balcony here, looking over. In the traditional tarot deck, it's like everything. He's got the world in his hands. She's got a cell phone, because cell phone has every answer we could possibly want, right? So just really take the time, because we're going to be asked to make a decision, and we're going to be required to use the experiences of this month and the knowledge that we gain, the knowledge that we brought in at the beginning of the month. All of those things are going to be necessary to integrate into this decision making, but we're being asked to make a decision. This is not the card to make the decision right then, but it is definitely the card to set the foundations for that decision. And don't get distracted, okay? Like, this is also a card of, like, she has her cell phone here. Don't get distracted from your goals. Stay focused on what it is that you need to be growing or doing, or whatever it is. Stay focused on that goal, okay? Because then we have the King of Wands following this. And this is really about, like, confidence, creative confidence, spiritual experiences. Again, that's funny. Yeah, and then, like, wands are also about, like, movement and passion. So, like, find your creative passion and, like, channel that into some really awesome leadership. The King of Wands, kings represent leadership. And I think a lot of this reading, like I said just a few minutes ago, is about finding leadership, okay? So get creative, whatever it is you're passionate about, channel that into some sort of self-expression, okay? This card also does not allow her emotions to kind of control her, but she embodies them. She's aware of them, and she uses them to, like, fuel that fire inside, that passion inside, and uses that to move forward and towards her goals, towards what she wants. Yeah, it's just very stable energy, but about, like, let's move forward and let's use what we know to create that, or fuel that fire in us, that passion, okay? So again, this final week here, I feel like is all about planning. Take some time, surrender, make some really bold decisions, and then allow that to fuel you to move forward into May. Yeah, but again, don't get distracted. It's probably going to be a little bit of a process. You're going to need to get comfy in that energy, okay? But it's absolutely necessary. But don't get distracted, okay? All right, so that is the reading for the month. I feel really good about it. I feel like it's a lot. Again, like, we're going to be gaining a lot of clarity. I think that everything that we move through is going to bring us closer to that clarity. And around that third week with the Ace of Swords, I think we're going to be seeing that, and the universe is going to be like, okay, here it is. You know what I mean? But prior to that, we are going to be kind of, like, going through that charitable, hopeful, but also tough, and then the balance, and just, like, whatever, I'm open to receiving, let's not get stuck, and then also, like, let me open my heart, but also keep my boundaries. So there's a lot of conflicting energy here, but I think it's because, again, where we've got this Two of Pentacles, we're being asked to bring balance to that, right? And that's necessary. Everything is not always going to be one way, right? We are human beings. We move, we flow, we experience, we re-experience, we learn, we grow, like, all of those things. And so we need to be able to integrate those things. And once we get through it and shift through it, and the universe says, here's some clarity, okay, well, I'm gonna, like, that, and this comes right after the Ace of Swords. I'm gonna sit with this. The universe is just giving me this clarity. Now I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna let this, like, really absorb and sink in, because then I'm gonna have some decisions to make, and then I'm gonna be moving my happy ass forward. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I feel really good about this. I hope everything resonated. I hope it was clear. That is always my intention when I pray before I do my readings, is to deliver my messages clearly. So I hope that it was. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to cut this off at 30 minutes. I hope you have enjoyed it. I really look forward to the other videos I've got coming for April, and hope you all are doing well and getting everything that you need and finding support or giving support or whatever it is that you need in this moment. We are all one, and we are all here doing everything together. Okay. But I love you guys so much. Thank you. Have a good day.